Hey, what's up? What's up? Look at me looking like a professional and shit. Got my full body, top and bottom on. I'm out here at my job site, my well site. My truck is low, but I wanted to share this video. Maybe it could be helpful to people. If it apply, use it. If it don't, let it go. But I wanted to share this video. I know I talk a lot about my mother that passed away, or my aunt or my grandmother. But the reason why I talk about that a lot, because I know recently some very close friends of mine, older women that I consider like my sisters, they recently lost their mother. And I see some of my friends on here I went to school with, they lost their daughters or they kids, and my heart go out to them. So I try to share videos on some of the steps that I did in order to come out of that deep depression and that dark place I was in. Cause man, for 10 years, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be locked up in my damn house. I hated Christmas, Thanksgiving. I would tell my friends or my cousin and they would call me. I'm like, I'm good. Shit, I'd be locked up in the house, eating noodles, didn't want to eat no Thanksgiving or Christmas food because I hated Christmas and Thanksgiving. Because when I was locked up when my mother passed, and I couldn't properly grieve because I was locked up with a bunch of hardheads. So black men, or men in general, we have this notion to be hard and gangster all the time. So me being locked up, I couldn't really grieve for my mother. But I don't know why men think, or people think, that men don't have no emotions or feelings. And what I've learned in my 53 years and plus along this journey, because that was my awakening, is I really don't have to be alpha all the damn time. And I can sit up here and be physically strong to people, but I can be hurting and dying inside. And what people don't realize, being a man, if you don't tap up into that feminine energy to get that pain and that hurt up out of you, you're gonna die from some kind of internal illness, or you're gonna catch strokes, heart attacks, because that pressure done built up from never releasing that hurt and pain that you got in. It's mental pain, it's emotional pain, it's psychological pain. But I realized a lot of my close relatives that lost their father or their mother, and then I got friends that have lost their mother and stuff. It's not that they wasn't sharing what was happening to them. I wasn't paying attention because I still had my mother and I still had my father. Man, if I tell you that shit happened to me, I was like, God damn. I went to them individually. I said, man, you been feeling like this? My cousin Steph said, yeah, cuz. My best friend, Jabron Pleasant, he said, yeah, bro, I've been going through that. And a friend of mine named Red Berry, we grew up like brother. I said, bro, you been feeling it? They said, yeah. All of them told me at that time, you still had your mother, so you never could understand or process it. Man, if I tell you, boy, that shit hurt. And I was like, God damn, somebody need to talk to people about this. So that's why I always get on here to try to share with y'all the steps that I took in order to heal myself. I'm still going through it. I'm still trying to self-heal. And that's why I'm grateful to a higher power, because I found that that's where you're awakening at. That's your journey you have to go on. And I was like, damn, God, why I have to go through so much pain in order to wake up spiritually But what I found out is like an onion. You got to constantly peel that onion back. I think that's why it took me like 9 or 10 years, because each year I was steady peeling away the programming, the bullshit that society had put into my brain and my mind. So I had to peel the onion back so I can get down to the source of my healing. Man, I had to go back to my childhood, but that was like later. But them first years, man, they was rough. They was rough. This is what I want to tell people. When you lose someone, you have every right to feel how you feel. The emotions is a roller coaster. If somebody tell you it's gonna be all right, no the fuck it ain't. No, it ain't. It's not. You have to go through that process of feeling every feeling that you felt, regardless of how you feel. Those feelings are valid. Now, what you're supposed to do in that process, you have to identify with each feeling and emotion, get by yourself and identify with it, and then start to learn how to release and let go. And I was gangster like a motherfucker. But boy, I be in that 18-wheeler, them tears would come even though I'm still up there trying to be strong. And I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, why the fuck am I keep crying and shit all the time? Because my body and my mind, my soul was cleansing itself of all the hurt, the pain, the programming. I used to be critical of people that committed suicide, or critical of people that done heavy drugs. I be like, God damn, nigga, how the fuck that person committed suicide? I ain't never gonna do that shit. Or find a person. I met a dude in prison when he was in this program. He couldn't stop using drugs, and I'm critical. Man, if I tell you, when I started going through that process of losing my mom, I understood why a person killed themselves. Because the pain is so powerful, it'll make you want to kill yourself. But the thing with me, I'm too cowardly. I couldn't kill myself. I got into it with a dude that I got respect for, Griff. Griff had lost his mother too, so both of us really hurting. But boy, I wanted Griff to kill me. We got into an argument one time. I really wanted Griff to kill me because that would have let me escape the hurt and pain that I was going through. It was like a coward way out. I said, shit, if this nigga kill me, I ain't gotta fucking feel this pain or this hurt. I'm grateful that I end up processing that. Me and him, we friends now. We have much respect for each other because I realized he was going through it too because he had lost his mother. But I couldn't commit suicide because I was too cowardly. A bunch of times I thought about running that 18-wheeler into a brick wall, but when the time comes, I'm like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing that. I said, just my luck. I done prayed to God so much, I'll walk out of it alive. I done been in 3 18-wheeler accidents, and here I am still here. That's how I know my power and prayer is strong. But I'm sharing this video with people that may have lost their mother, their father, or their kids, or their loved ones, to let y'all know it's gonna be all right. I know y'all probably don't want to hear that, but just imagine 10 years ago, I was in so much deep depression, I wasn't trying to hear that shit neither. I remember walking up to Pat Dixon, may he rest in peace. When I started feeling that pain, I said, man, I know why you drink and get fucked up. He said, why? I said, because you still feel the hurt and pain from your mother. He said, yep. I said, well, I got to learn how to release this hurt and pain because I got to get it out of my system. I remember Pat saying, well, I'm not releasing my mama. I'm going to hold on tight. And at the time, if I'm not mistaken, I think his mother had been passed away for like 20-some years. But shortly after that, Pat ended up falling and bumping his head where he was in a coma. And then he eventually ended up passing. But I was thinking to myself, I said, man, I gotta release this fucking mental, emotional, and psychological pressure that's within. And pressure will bust a pipe. I used to tell my brother Marcus all the time, I say, bro, because he had lost besides our parent, my mother and stuff, he had lost his daughter. But later on, he lost his father. Trouble man, may he rest in peace. But my brother used to be so fucking mad that nigga used to wanna hunt the people down that killed his daughter. And I used to tell my brother, I say, bro, you gotta start grieving. You gotta let that hurt and pain out. And besides that, we had lost Mama Tusi, which had been 20 years. So us being boys, we never grieved for Mama Tusi. And I used to always tell, I said, man, y'all gotta grieve. My Uncle Jojo, I used to tell my Uncle Jojo, I said, Unc, you gotta grieve. My uncle said, Bernard ain't trying to hear that old crying shit. But my Uncle Jojo used to run around Nacogdoches with that pistol trying to shoot people. And I used to pray, I say, God, please don't let my uncle go to prison. Please don't let him hurt nobody. I say, Unc, you gotta grieve. You hadn't grieved losing Mama Tusi. I would tell my brother Marcus, I say, bro, you gotta grieve. And them dudes being so alpha in their mind and so gangster, we was taught as youngsters, boys don't cry. Bullshit. I'm gangster as it get. But how in the hell, me being a gangster man, am I gonna deal with the emotional and mental pain that I'm feeling inside? Don't nobody tell you that. You fuck around and hold that pressure in. My brother Marcus was so fucking mad, had so much pressure, he ended up having a stroke. And man, that hurt my heart when my brother had a stroke, because that was the pressure and anger he had built up inside, because he was really ready to hurt somebody. And I kept telling him, bro, I said, bro, you gotta cry, you gotta grieve, you gotta get that hurt and pain out. You still gonna be a gangster? You still gonna be alpha? Shit, like Lil Wayne said, just because you see that wolf teeth, don't mean that wolf won't bite your ass. But we have to learn how to heal ourselves. And I learned through crying and releasing, it released the hurt and pain. I get in that 18-wheeler like for about 8 or 9 years. I used to be in that 18-wheeler to myself, letting that hurt and pain out. Letting that hurt and pain out. It don't make me feel less than a man because I'm sharing with y'all the fact that I got to myself and I grieve. I'm still gangster. I just ain't no gangster to the point where I'm gonna go do no criminal stuff. I'm still a good-hearted person. I think it have helped me to see things from a different perspective. And now when I think about my mother and stuff, and another thing, one thing I had to realize earlier in my process, I had to realize I was never gonna see this woman again. That there itself was hurtful and painful. Because regardless of how old I got, I was still her child. And that hurt a lot. I still miss my mama today. I miss my grandmother, my Aunt Glenn. But the beauty in all that is I could always go back and remember the quality teachings that they gave us. That's why y'all hear me say I have respect for men, because my mother never wanted me to disrespect other men. She never wanted me to disrespect my father. And I have much respect for men, like my great-grandpa, grandpa's son, my grandfather, Whitey Jackson, my Uncle Jack Wade on the hill, my Uncle Joe them. I have much respect for them because I done went inside and I done started the healing process. That's why I always say I have respect for men, because of me healing myself inside. I have a lot of respect for women too. And when I find myself trying to be critical and judgmental, I go inside and I check myself. Because how in the hell I'm going to judge somebody else and I still got to work on myself? So I try to do a lot of self-healing. and keep my comments to myself and work on myself. Because I can't judge the stick in somebody else's eye if I got a log in my eye. So that's a process that I go through to constantly work on myself and heal myself to make me a better person. And I wanted to share this video because I know a lot of people done lost their loved ones. And I can tell y'all this, while you in the valley like that, you're going to find out God is, or your higher power is right there with you. Because I used to always say one time, man, God is something else. He ain't going to let you fall in love with nothing on this earth that can satisfy or benefit you more than him being there for you. Whether you up high or you down low. And that's what makes me have respect for a higher power. Because even if you are rich and financially wealthy, you're going to have some other problems. So that's why I have much respect for a higher power, because even when I was doing bad and I was praying a lot, I know that God was always there. And that's why I always say, while I'm healthy right now, I would rather give respect to a higher power as to getting sick and then I'm running to him for help. Nah. Plus, I want to be like this at 90 and 100 years old, so I'm trying to give respect right now. But those that are grieving, keep doing what you're doing, because you're going through a healing process. And if anybody ever come to you and say, man, let it go, look, cut them out of your life, because what you're going through now, you best believe it, everybody got to go through this. And it's a healing process. It's going to take time. The reason why it took me so long is because I kept running. I kept running from my feelings and emotions. Every time I did deal with it and cry a little, I hair up, start thinking or doing some other shit. That's why it took me so long to grieve, because I just didn't really want to let go. But it's a process, and the more you keep working on healing yourself, it's not going to bring the loved ones back, but it'll make you, the good outweigh the bad, and it makes you appreciate the good things that your loved ones left behind. That's what I had to learn how to accept. I was never going to see these people no more, so let me go. That's why I tell stories about my cousin Heavy, my best friend Doughboy, my grandmother, my mother, because that, to me, that's healing. If I can go tell a funny story about some of the things that I learned from them. So that's part of my healing. That's what I learned, how to heal myself. There's times where I be sad and I might shed a tear, but the good always outweigh the bad, and I would always tell a funny story. So that's why I do that. It's like a healing for me. And my heart goes out to everyone that have lost someone recently. But if I could, be of any help to anyone, I'm here. Hit me up in Messenger. For what I done a lot of crying and a lot of praying. And I work out, because I didn't want to catch no stroke or no heart attack. So I had to find some way to redirect that anger, that frustration, and that pressure. So I started working out. I'm kind of lazy now because I don't do working out all the time, but anytime I get too caught up, I'll probably do me like 200 push-ups just to get the heart pumping right. And I just wanted to tell everyone that's grieving, it's a process you're going through. It's like God saying you purifying yourself now. You purify. I know it's hurtful and it's painful, but knowing that your higher power is there while you're going through that, that's the only thing that helped me out, because the pain was so tough. I had to call and talk to God. I couldn't deal with that stuff on my own. So I just thought I'd share that with y'all while my truck getting loaded. it's already through getting loaded now, so some kind of way I'm sending this positive energy out there, and I hope everyone have a great day. Mine wasn't that good this morning because I woke up late. It wasn't no excuse. I just overslept. I said, boy, get your ass up and go to work. You work for me. You don't work for Top Cat. You work for her pilot. So I had to realize I had to get up and get to work because I got tired of looking in the mirror and my reflection looking back at me. Screwface said, yeah, you fucking up my money. No, get my goddamn money, no. I hope everybody have a good day. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all.